Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carla, but you can call me Kay. And today I want to discuss with you how to open a business here in the Gambia. Now, business formation in the Gambia is pretty much the same as businesses elsewhere in terms of you have sole traders, also known as sole proprietorships. You have limited liability companies, limited liability partnerships, public limited companies, foundations, trusts, all these different formations, which is similar to most countries. So now, in terms of registering a business here in the Gambia, it's slightly different from what I would experience registering a business in the UK. For a start, as a sole trader in the UK, you don't have to register a business. You simply act as an independent, running your own business as yourself, and you complete your tax registration by yourself. But here in the Gambia, you have to register a sole proprietorship or sole trader. So there are slight variations in how you go about the process. Now I'm going to run through a list. I have it here on my phone as a guidance. I don't want to forget anything. But first and foremost, before you can start operating as a business here in the Gambia, you will need to either be a resident here or a Gambian national, or have an agent representing you here who is a Gambian national or a resident. Now, in terms of the type of companies discussed today, I'm only going to discuss 3 types of companies. 1, a sole trader; 2, a limited company; and 3, a foreign company doing business here in the Gambia. So I think those are the main ones you'll be interested in as a business, in doing business here in the Gambia. So first of all, as a sole trader or sole proprietorship, which is probably the most common type, you will need 4 things. You'll need 1, a national ID card, like identification, a national ID card, a passport, or driving license. Then secondly, you will need a copy of a TIN, your tax identification number. Now, I do have a video that explains how I got my alien card, how I got my resident permit, how I got my TIN, how I got my driving license. Look for that video. It'll explain that process more to you. And in addition, the third thing you'll need is to complete a SWR3 application. So that's a SWR3 application. And the fee for sole proprietorship registration is $500. That's not much. That's like $8, £6, something to that effect. And you will receive 1 certificate for registering as a sole proprietorship. Now, in terms of registering as a limited company, this is a slightly different process, because a limited company is a separate legal entity from yourself. So it has to be treated as such. So it needs a separate name for a start. Name registration costs $500. But now you have a slightly different they used to charge before for name searches, but now they don't charge for that service, which is great. They have to perform a name search in the country to make sure that you're not using or trying to trade under the name of a company that already exists, because then you'll be infringing on their copyrights. And if you intend to do business not only locally in the Gambia, but on the continent, throughout the continent or internationally, I do recommend you get a lawyer, probably from overseas, who has access to international databases that they can search for your company name to make sure that your name is not being used somewhere else. Because if you try to do business under a name, even in a different country, if your business extends to that, services extends to that country, it can infringe on the copyrights of that other business and they can sue you. Now, I've seen many businesses get into trouble for this very same reason. I knew a model in Jamaica who opened up a business, and she was doing so well with it. It was a great business. I won't say what it is because this world is small and everybody knows each other, and I don't want to just expose people like that. But she had a business name that was the same as a business name in another country, and she thought it didn't matter. And I think I even approached her about it one time, and she did so much promotion. She had a product line, she researched, she manufactured, she did a great job on the brand, and she had celebrities representing this brand in the US. She went to trade shows, she went all over the place promoting this, and now that website is non-existent. I think they were forced to shut it down because there was a company coming up, had the same name and a similar product line, and it was infringing on their copyrights. So you can't take this lightly when you're dealing with names for your company. So do perform your name search, and if you're intending on doing business internationally, do make sure you have a legal representative who can search on that magnitude for you. Now, limited company, for a limited company, you also need to have an Articles of Memorandum of Association. Just like above in the sole trader, you need a TIN, tax identification number. You need to have the ID of each director and secretary in that company. They all need to present their IDs and their names, and you need to complete a SWR 7 application. Now, the fee for the application is $1,000, and that's in addition to the name registration, which is $500. For a limited company, you will receive 2 certificates: 1, an incorporation certificate, and 2, a business certificate. Now, for registering a foreign company in the Gambia, it's a pretty much similar setup to a limited company in the sense that you'll apply for a name registration, but you'll also be required to have the Articles of Memorandum of Association of the principal parent company, and if it's in a foreign language, you need to translate that to English. You'd also have the ID of the director overseas of the parent company and the secretary. I think you also need the ID of the agent that is representing you, a copy of the TIN, a copy of the Board of Resolution or Power of Attorney. That's the person who's representing you in the Gambia. So the agent you appoint to represent you in Gambia must be a resident, must be a Gambian national, or have a resident permit. Now, you will need to complete a CO38 application form, and the fee for that is $1,000. So that fee would also coincide with the name registration, with the name registration of your company. So in order to register your company, you will register with the Ministry of Justice. But in addition to the Ministry of Justice, just about every business operating in Gambia also needs to register with the local council that they're operating in. So wherever your business office is, or even if you're working from home, you need to register with your local council. Now, there are different local councils throughout Gambia, such as you have the Kanifing Municipal Council, you have Banjul City Council. You have to find out what council your business is operating in, and you'll need to register with them. Now, registration with the council is a lot more costly. It's the minimum, I think, is like $9,000. And also there are regulatory bodies, so depending on the type of business you're operating in, whether it be construction, whether it be transport, you'll need to contact the regulatory bodies in the Gambia to make sure that you meet their standards of operating, or you could be in problems, sticky waters with these people. And these organizations are GAIPA and PURA. So that's pretty much it. There's a lot more information that I could be sharing about this process, but it's pretty much never ending. But if you want more information in terms of the culture of doing business here in Gambia, which is very different from overseas, it's different how you market yourself, how you approach other businesses, how you conduct business here. It's very different. So, I mean, pretty much if you're from the continent, it's more easy, you'll understand things, how it operates more. But if you're not from the continent, you're from the West, it's very different to how you do business there. So if you want a one-on-one consultation with me, do hit me up on my email or my WhatsApp, and we can arrange that for you. And let me know. If you have further information you would like to share, do drop it in the comments so that others will benefit from that information. And that's pretty much it from me for now. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notification, like the video so that YouTube will recommend it and share it. And thank you very much for listening. Take care for now. Bye-bye.